Well, my Saturdays is over, but it already feels like it's been going on too long. So I came over this morning, like we agreed, and our time together was interesting. She was acting kind of weird when she came over, but eventually she mellowed out and we were having a pretty good time. Then we had kind of an awkward encounter that ended with her freaking out and running off crying. I really should know what was going on with her. I want to help with whatever is bothering her, but I don't know how if she doesn't know what it is. At any rate, Yuri is supposed to come over this afternoon, so I don't really have time to talk to Sayuri. She left her bag here when she ran out, so maybe I can use that as an excuse to talk to her later. I grab a quick lunch and tidy up my rooms some more while I wait for Yuri. I sit in my room waiting for her while I try to sort out everything that just happened. So tries to piece everything together. I notice the time. It is well past time for you to be here, but I haven't heard a knock on the door, nor have I received a text. I wonder what could be keeping her. I glance at my upstairs window, and I find my answer. He was standing near my front door, not quite on my porch. She has two bags on the ground next to her. One of these appears to be for the decorations we are preparing. I'm not sure what it is in the other one. I decide to sit and watch her to see what she will do. She looks like she is talking to someone, even though there is nobody out there with her. I can see her mouth things like, "Hello, so what's my name?" After a moment of this, she gets flustered and fumbles with her hands some. Then she starts over. "Hello, John, I'm glad to be here. It's the best I can make out." Over and over she does this. It takes me a moment to realize that she is building up courage to knock on my door. I decide to take pity on her. I head downstairs and open the door. I act like I'm just stepping out for a moment and didn't expect to see her there. "Oh, there you are, Yuri. I was just checking my mail." "Oh, John! What a surprise! I mean, I guess I shouldn't be since it's your house and all." "Well, it would make sense if I met my house." Yuri does a small, nervous laugh. She's holding her hands behind her back, but I can see that she is fiddling with the back part of her sweater. "Say, aren't you a little warm in that outfit?" This? I'm a bit cold-natured, and I wouldn't want to inconvenience you by dictating the temperature of your house. So I decided just warmer, just in case. If it got too warm, I could always just take layers off. Not that I'm planning on taking my clothes off. Oh gosh, I didn't mean. Oh dear. I can't help but laugh a little at Yuri's predicament. I can't help but... It's fine, Yuri. I understand what you mean. Let me help you get the stuff aside. Or inside? Inside. I take the bag of art supplies while Yuri picks up the other bag and we head on in. I take the supplies up to my room while Yuri follows behind me. She doesn't say anything, but I can kind of feel her anxiety. It seems like she is trying really hard to keep her breathing steady. I battle that she seems to be losing the closer we get to my room. We head on into my room and I set down the supplies. Yuri stops in my doorway for a moment, seeming hesitant to come inside. Since I worked on the flyers in my room earlier today, I just assumed we would do the same. I noticed how nervous Yuri is acting. I'm so familiar with Sayuri that I didn't think twice about having her in my room earlier. But suppose I should consider how Yuri feels since I don't know her as well. If you'd be more comfortable in the living room, we could move there. It's no problem. No, I'm okay. This will be fine. Alright, as long as you're okay with it. Would you like anything to drink? Some water would be nice. Sure thing! Be right back. I head downstairs to get Yuri a glass of water. I have to admit, Yuri's behavior is somewhat refreshing compared to how manic Sayuri was earlier. I feel like I don't have anything to worry about since she's so shy. Maybe this afternoon will go more smoothly? When I walk back to my room, I see Yuri is inspecting the top of my desk. I'm glad I did some cleaning before she came over. She'd probably freak out at the pile of manga and anime statuses that normally clutter that desk. Hopefully she didn't look in the closet.
Do you mind if I plug something in here?
Sure, what is it? Reaches into her bag and pulls out a small oval-shaped device with a nozzle on top, as well as a small pouch.
This is an oil diffuser. I use it to help me get into a creative state of mind. I put a bit of oil into it, and it diffuses it into the air. Each oil is tied to a different feeling or mood. I figured that since we were creating decorations, a little bit of jasmine oil would help stir a bit of creative spirit inside of us. Oh, I'm sorry. Aromatherapy is a bit of a hobby of mine. I'm sorry if that sounds strange, if I'm talking about it too much or...
It's fine, Yuri. I like hearing you talk about things you like. Go ahead. I know I could use all the creative help I can get.
Okay.
Yuri takes a small bottle out of the pouch, puts it into the diffuser, and turns it on. A small cloud of mist sprays silently from the nozzle. In the moment, the room is filled with a slight sweet smell. It is pretty subtle, and in a moment, my nose adjusts, and I don't quite notice it quite as much.
What do you think?
I don't notice a change just now, but Yuri seems to be looking for approval. Yeah, I guess I'm feeling a bit more creative. Yuri smiles and claps her hands.
Wonderful. I was thinking about having some oils diffusing during our poetry presentation. With the right oils, we could really enhance our presentation and transport our guests to faraway worlds.
Yuri's really taking this decoration job seriously.
Okay, now then, here's my idea for the decorations.
Yuri pulls a piece of paper out of the bag with the supplies in it. There's a drawing of the club room on it, with bits of decorations added in at various places. There are small notes written here and there in Yuri's neat handwriting.
So first off, we will cut our strips of ribbon to hang from the doorway. We have some origami paper here that we will write different kanji characters on. When we are finished, we will tack the origami paper to the end of the strips of ribbon. This will give our doorway an interesting appearance and will entice people to come take part in our proceedings. Also, we will use pieces of black construction paper to black out the windows. Some of the paper will have holes punched in it to suggest stars in the night sky. I have some candles and other several light sources placed around the room, so it won't be pitch black and there will be more light at the podium to bring focus to the speaker. So, what do you think, John?
Yuri is really proud of her plans for the room, as well as she should be. I'm really impressed. Wow, that's a lot of really neat ideas, Yuri. I would have just put up some posters or something, but you've really gone all out.
Well, let's get to work.
Reaches into her bag to get out some other supplies for the jobs we will be doing. I know that she is getting pretty confident ever since she turned on the diffuser. She hasn't been stuttering or stammering, and there has been a distinct lack of apologizing. Maybe there's something to this aromatherapy thing. We have divided up the tasks. I will be preparing the construction paper while Yuri cuts the ribbon strips. As I begin punching out small holes in the paper, notice that Yuri has taken a small rectangular box from out of her bag and opens it up. The inside of the box is red and looks like it's made of velvet. There's an indent in the center that is holding something that is wrapped up in soft cloth. I can't quite make out what it is. Yuri picks up the object carefully and removes the cloth. Underneath is an ornate knife. The endless pale blue and looks shaped to fit right in your hand. There are various swirling designs etched into the side of the handle that continue on the side of the blade. The blade itself is a little less than a foot long and looks incredibly sharp. Before I even processed what Yuri would have something like that, she's already arranged several lengths of ribbon and cut through it in 2 quick strokes to make several strands of door-length ribbon. The knife doesn't even stop as it passes through the ribbon.
Wow! Where did you find that? This is one of my favorites. I picked it up at a specialty store a few months ago. I've been eyeing it for a while and I finally managed to save enough money to get it. I was captivated by the intricate designs on the handle, and I loved the way they continue uninterrupted onto the blade. That's a very unusual design choice, and I really admire the artist for the way it was made. This is the crown jewel of my collection.
Collection? You own more than one of these?
Oh, well,
And suddenly the confident air dissipates and Yuri returns to her nervous habits.
I own several.
She is suddenly quiet.
I know it is an unusual thing to collect knives, and has led me to some unfortunate rumors about me, but
ow. Ah, shit. I hope I need to make sure. Is everything okay? Audio-wise? I can't sit still, so I end up keep moving, and the wire of the headphones slipped underneath the chair. So I was a bit concerned there for a moment. By the way, I have friends who like knives, so honestly, this is nothing unusual for me.
But it is something that I enjoy. There's something about that that entices me. Not just the combination of beauty and danger. I just like looking at them. Oh, Joel, you don't think I'm strange, do you? I just don't know if I could.
She's getting really upset. I can't tell that this is something she doesn't share with a lot of people. I'll admit it's kind of a strange hobby, I don't really understand it. But I think I should respect that this is something she's shown me. Yuri, the other day I watched an anime about a boy that changes into a girl when he gets splashed with water. Ranma! I'm about to graduate from high school and I go to conventions dressed up like a 15-year-old girl with superpowers. And I stand up and head over to my closet. Open the door a crack, reach inside and pull out a figurine to show to Yuri. It is an intricately detailed mecha with angel wings and a long polearm weapon. I own 3 of these. I have all of the DDLC androids. I have one of I from Oshinoko, and I have a Kana figurine up here from Oshinoko as well that I got from a manga anime game convention this year. Do I have other figures? No. But I do have more anime t-shirts, or like, at large it's DDLC, but some of them also have like other characters. I have like merch from games and anime that I like. And I wear them proudly outside! One of them is gold-plated. I choose not to say how much they cost. I return my figure to the closet and sit back down next to Yuri. So if you want to be weird, that's fine. I'm weird too. Nothing wrong with us being weird together, right? By the way, if you heard me sound weird while I was looking around, talking about the Kana, I have it right here. It's right next to my desk. The DDLC Nandroids are in my room. Next to my bed, next to in my DDLC shrine. I have like a literal part of a shelf that is wholly dedicated to the plushies that I have, some images that I have, a poster that I also got at that anime manga game convention finally, and like the Nandroids. The clothing pieces are in my closet like usual. Oh, I also have a Sesshomaru from Inuyasha. I have a figure of him from one of those other conventions, but that was when I was much younger when I got that one. It's the Shomaru figure. Right, I have that one, next to my Inuyasha manga. Yuri looks at me in stunned silence for a moment, then she gives me the warmest smile I've seen her give. She almost looks like she's about to cry. Oh, John, that means so much to me. Wow, I can only imagine how she would have reacted if I said I want to start collecting eyes too. I'm not really sure where to go from here, so... do you mind if I take a look at it?
Oh, sure.
Yuri turns the knife around so the blade is facing away from me. I take it by the handle and carefully lay it across my open hand. I thought the handle would feel like plastic looking at it from afar. but I'm surprised to find that it's actually all made of metal. It's surprisingly heavy. The design is even more intricate up close, and I can see what appear to be small flecks of gold inside the patterns. I don't think I'm going to be a collector of these anytime soon, but it's truly an impressive piece of work. The blade looks really sharp too. Without thinking, I start to move my thumb across the design on it until... Ouch! I managed to catch myself by simply passing my thumb above the edge of the blade. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty sharp. Good job, John. What else did I expect from touching a knife blade? I start to move my thumb towards my mouth to suck the blood off when Yuri grabs my wrist.
What are you doing? You shouldn't put an open wound in your mouth. Let me see.
Yuri turns my hand, palm up, and reaches into her bag. She pulls out a small plastic bag that has a few different bottles full of liquid, some gauze pads, and bandages in it. It takes me a second to realize that this is a makeshift first aid kit. He takes out a bottle and pours some clear liquid onto a gauze pad.
This might sting.
She pats it on my finger. Sure enough, I feel a slight stinging sensation in my thumb. This must be rubbing alcohol.
I need to disinfect the wound.
After she is done doing that, she waves her hand above my finger to dry it. Then she takes a bandage out of the bag and applies it to my finger.
There, that should do it.
Thanks! So, do you carry first aid with you everywhere?
Well,
She's awfully flustered for such a simple question.
I'm on my own a lot, and one can never be too careful.
That's true. That's true. I have something similar with me as well. And I have some very tiny scissors. I found them once. And I remember I already had them when I was in school. But it was annoying to dig through my stuff with them. So I eventually honestly just put it into the pocket of my jacket and I carry it around like that. And even though I don't really use it anymore, I still have it on me because you can never be too careful.
After all, with the knife collection, you never know.
She looks down and is suddenly quiet. When I follow her eyes, I realize why. Yuri is still holding onto my hand. She has been holding it ever since she applied the bandage. For a moment, we are frozen in time, holding hands together. Then Yuri pulls away quickly and turns away, blushing brightly.
Well, I suppose we should get started then?
Yeah, I think we should. I suppose that's it for that little moment. After that, we set about working on our projects for the festival. I can prepare the fox night sky, while Yuri uses a calligraphy brush to write kanji characters on the origami paper. After a while, I finish my job and gather up all of the construction paper. Yuri doesn't seem to notice that I'm done, so I decide to sit and watch her write for a little bit. Her handwriting is immaculate, and I am quickly mesmerized by the fluid, graceful movements of her hand. As I watch her write, my gaze is drawn up to her arm, to her face. She's lost in concentration as she focuses on the intricate characters she is drawing. She has carefully tucked her hair back over her shoulder. After a moment, she glances up at me. Our eyes meet, and I feel a rush of warmth spread over my face. Time seems to lose all meaning as we hold each other's gazes. Slowly, Yuri's mouth curls up into a smile unlike any smile she has given me before. I smile back. I'm suddenly aware that I am breathing heavily. I can feel my heart racing inside of my chest. Is this an effect of the jasmine oil? Or perhaps Yuri is finishing writing her character, not once breaking eye contact with me. I feel like the air between us has been charged somehow, almost as if...
The inkwell.
Oh, I'm sorry?
Could you pass me the inkwell?
Her voice is steady and inviting. Yeah, sure. I scooted over closer to her. The inkwell is actually closer to her than it is to me. Regardless, I pick it up and hold it near her, waiting for her to take it from me. Yuri puts down her calligraphy pen and reaches up towards my hand, still looking right into my eyes. She cups her hands gently around the inkwell, but doesn't take it. And isn't quite touching mine, but I can feel her warmth from how close she is. A strand of her hair falls down over her face and sways gently back and forth, almost as if it is inviting me closer.
Thank you, John. You're such a gentleman.
Well, I try. Suddenly aware of how close I am to Yuri. I'm not quite sure when we got this close. Perhaps it was when I moved over to hand her the inkwell. Neither of us has averted our eyes from one another even for a moment. She's close enough that I can feel the warmth of her face. Yuri? Her eyes narrow slightly as she moves closer to me.
Yes, John?
I can feel her warm breath on my lips as she says those words. Maybe it's my imagination, but I swear her eyes glance down at my mouth for just a second. Might have swimming. It's getting harder to think straight. What did she put in that diffuser? Or is it the diffuser at all? Without thinking, I reach up to wrap my fingers around her hand to take it in mine. She pulls my hand gently towards the left side of her face. I extend my fingers slightly to caress her cheek. She laughs softly.
That's my line, John.
I can tell that I'm blushing, and I've been intrigued by Yuri ever since the day I met her. Is this what I want? I came to stroke her cheek as I move in closer, preparing to bridge that gap between us. Yuri closed her eyes and raised her face towards mine. As my heart pounds out of my chest, I start to close my eyes, when suddenly I notice a wet, black streak of ink on the left side of Yuri's face, as well as a wet, black stream that is streaking down her hand. Oh! The ink!
What?
Oh! The moment broken, Yuri and I pull away from each other. We had both lost track of the inkwell in our hands, and now it has spilled out onto our arms. Oh gosh! I'm so sorry. Here, let me. I bent over to pick up some paper towels that Yuri had brought in with her and started trying to wipe the ink off of her hand.
No, it's okay, really.
I'm sorry. I got some on your sleeve. Let me get it. I'd really hate it if her shirt got stained because I was careless. I tapped the tab of paper towel on her sleeve, trying to get the ink off before it dries.
No, really, John, that's okay.
I started to pull her sleeve back to wipe off any ink that might have soaked through on her arm. No! Yuri jerks her arm away suddenly. She looks at me with genuine fear in her eyes. Not her normal shy look, but a look full of terror. What did I do wrong? Why is she suddenly so afraid of me? Yuri, I'm sorry. I didn't mean...
No, John, it's all right. I was just worried that the paper towels would make a bigger mess in your room is all. Why don't you go get some washcloths?
Sure thing. I stand up and head out of my room towards the bathroom. I take a moment to wash the ink off my hands, then return to my room with 2 wet washcloths and one to Yuri so she can clean off her shirt. I'm not sure what she got so jumpy about, but I figure she probably wants to clean her own clothes herself. I take the other washcloth and start cleaning up the spilled ink from the floor. Luckily, nothing got onto the origami paper. I managed to get most of the ink off the floor. There's still a few dark spots, but I figure I can get those out with something stronger. Yuri has gotten her sleeve mostly ink-free.
I'll need to get it in the wash as soon as I get home, but I don't think it will stain.
That's a relief. Oh, you still get a little... Yuri still has a small black mark on her cheek. Do you mind if I get that for you? I figured I should probably ask after what happened a moment ago. When I'm prepared for an extreme response, Yuri's answer is soft and reassuring.
Please.
I take the washcloth and rub it over the spot on Yuri's face. The ink wipes clean off after just a few passes, and I start to pull my hand back. Before I can, however, Yuri reaches up and holds my hand on her fake cheek.
Could you please, just for a few moments longer? Your hand is so warm.
That's a big change from a second ago. You close her eyes and holds my hand on her cheek.
So many timeless moments in one afternoon.
I'm not sure to respond to that. After a while, she loosens her grip on my hand and we finish cleaning up. We have pretty much finished our task, so we gather up the supplies into the bag Yuri brought them in. She also gathers up her diffuse and her knife. We stand and I walk her down to the front door. We are walking toward the front gate when Yuri stops and faces me.
I wish I could stay longer, but I need to get home and make dinner for my mother. I can tell how much wonderful this afternoon I can't tell you how wonderful this afternoon has been! Ah! I wish I didn't have to.
Hey, don't sweat it. If you want, we can get together some other time to do something. Preferably something that doesn't involve spilling ink. I laugh a little at my own joke, but Yuri just smiles warmly.
I don't know if you understand what you've done for me.
The tone of voice is soft but serious.
It's hard for me to be around other people. Social interaction is a mystery that, quite frankly, I've never been able to fathom. I always imagined that I would be alone for the rest of my life. But then you came, like a white knight on his horse, and when I'm with you, the mystery finally makes sense. The fear, the anxiety, you chase it all away. You're my muse, John. You're my pillar of strength. You're the cry of my heart.
Jeez, it was just enough to make decorations.
John?
Yes, Yuri?
No, not this way. Declarations like this should be more public. Don't you agree? Just like in a book.
Yes?
The festival, then. I'm going to write you a poem, John. I'll write you a poem and read it at the festival. Please, won't you look forward to it?
Well, yeah, I guess I can do that.
Very well. Farewell, my knight.
Well, that was interesting. I wandered back into my house, suddenly tired after the day's events. But Sayuri and Yuri were acting pretty weird today. Is it me? Why am I suddenly the center of everyone's attention? I grabbed some leftover pizza from my fridge and head back up to my room. No sense in getting all my stuff back out since Natsuki's coming over tomorrow. Surely she'll be more level-headed, right? I decided to browse the internet while I eat my dinner. But checking up on the latest anime news, a thought crosses my mind and I pull up the Google search engine. Let's see. Jasmine oil. Derived from the jasmine flower. Can be used to heal scarring. Used to release stress, ease depression, and I don't know how to say that. Aphrodisiac? Knowing for its libido-enhancing qualities, the jasmine flower is sometimes called the queen of the night.
Okay then,
yeah, it's fine. It was probably more destined for the stress board. Oh, what a day. We've had both Sayuri and Yuri over today. I've had both Sayuri and Yuri over today. And things got weird with both of them. So ran off her house crying. I feel like I should go talk to her, but maybe I should just let her be for now. Maybe I'll go over there tomorrow after Natsuki leaves. Yuri, she kept talking about fate and destiny and all that. She called me her white knight. I get the impression she thinks I'm a hero from one of her books. I'm a bit worried about what she's going to do at the festival on Monday. And I still have Natsuki coming over tomorrow. Who knows what that will bring? Man, how did I get into this mess in the first place? It's late, but I'm not tired. First time in, well, ever. I'm not in the mood for anime. I need to get out. Maybe a walk will clear my head. Night has already fallen. The city lights block out most of the stars, but the moon is full and bright. My walk has taken me away from the more densely populated part of town and close to the shore. Go there with Yuri and Natsuki sometime. The thoughts are swirling around my head as I try to make sense of the day. Maybe we're going to meet Yuri here. After all what has happened. The thoughts are, yeah. I'm worried about what the festival might bring. I've come to care about each of these girls. My friends. There's this terrible feeling that someone is going to be hurt come Monday. As I continue to walk, I notice I have left my neighborhood entirely and am now walking by the beach. I stop for a moment and admire the view. I can smell the salt in the air as the wind blows past my face. The sound of waves crashing up against the shore have a sort of calming effect on me. It is a beautiful beach. I've been swimming at night, like on vacation. A few times actually. I don't know. It's kind of fun. It's a bit worrisome, but it's an experience that I love. The sound of waves. For a moment, my thoughts are quiet and I lose myself in the hypnotic movements of the water. Suddenly, I'm not alone on this beach. Farther out, close to the water, stands a girl. Her back is turned to me, but I notice that she is wearing a school uniform. Then, not Yuri? Unless you're changed. She has her arms crossed in front of her, and even though I can't see her face, I can tell from her posture that she is deep in thought. We had a unique little scene with Monica with Sayori. So honestly, maybe this is Sayori. Curious at who else could be out this late, I head down towards the water. Not Sayori! Monica! This could be Monica, since we had a special scene with Monica doing Sayori's route. Just the one that was more focused on Monica. And now it's the kind of the same. Maybe it's the same thing here. Curious at who else could be out this late. I head down towards the water to investigate. It seems to me that the only people out this late are either causing trouble or running from it. I walk closer to the girl. As I approach, I notice her long brown hair tied up in a white ribbon. Ah, yes. Okay, Monica. So there is who I am out here with. Monica? She turns to face me. Sure enough, it is Monica. At first, she looks surprised, maybe even afraid, when she notices she isn't alone on the beach. But when she makes eye contact, her expression warms and a smile spreads across her face. John? What are you doing here? It's been a long day with the festival preparations and all, so I just felt like a walk might calm me down. Monica chuckles a little. Oh, I hope so and Yuri weren't too much for the handle. Of course not. Everything went smoothly. Oh, sorry, I'm creaking here again. I'm lying through my teeth, of course. But something in Monica's eyes tells me she doesn't need to be burdened with any of my troubles. I can't put my finger on it, but she almost looks sad. Well, that's good to hear. I'm really sorry you got saddled with all the festival prep this weekend, John. It's alright. I don't mind at all. At least I would under normal circumstances. We stand there looking at each other for a moment, serenaded by the sounds of the waters. The waves. Well, it's getting late. I guess I should be on my way. Actually, would you mind sitting here with me for a while? I could really use a friend. This is sudden. How could I refuse? Well, sure. Is everything alright? Let's just say it's been a tiring weekend for me. That makes two of us. Monica sits down on the beach and pulls her knees up to her face. She stares out towards the ocean like she is looking into another world. I sit down next to her and stare out into the ocean myself. We don't say anything for a while, but I get the impression Monica needs the company more than she needs words. I don't know what is going on with her, but I guess she'll tell me in her own time. I come here to look at the ocean. The sudden break in silence surprised me. Oh, really? Not a smooth response, but I was off guard. The ocean, it makes me think of so many things. Monica continues as if I hadn't even said anything. The myriad of wonders contained within it, the lands beyond it. What do you think the first explorers thought when they first attempted to cross the ocean? I get the feeling I'm hearing a variety of things that Monica has thought but never said out loud. It must have been an exciting time. The wonder and mystery of it all. In our modern world, the ocean is just such an easy thing to traverse. By plane or by ship. But in those days, the ocean was this vast, insurmountable thing. Just an endless obstacle. Almost like the distance between two yearning hearts, wouldn't you agree? It almost sounds like you're missing someone, Monica. In the Sayori episode, there was also someone else, and she was writing a love poem, but maybe it wasn't for us, like Dreams of Love and Literature, also referenced to, of course, but... maybe she was referring to someone completely else, the person far away. The person that's still sending her letters. My response seems to surprise her. Huh? What do you mean by that? Well, the others have this theory that you have some secret lover. She's just convinced that you are planning to run off to and elope. That wouldn't happen to be what's going on with you, is it? Well, I didn't intend for that to be funny, but it seems to have snapped her out of her mood. I don't have a boyfriend, John. In fact, I've never had a boyfriend. I've never even been kissed. Really? I find that hard to believe. Well, maybe it's not a love like that.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Uh-oh. Well, I didn't mean...
Don't worry about it. I'm just teasing you. I realize I'm popular with the guys, but I've never really had time for a relationship like that. I'm actually not very good at relationships in general. My family moved around a lot when I was younger. I never had the same set of friends from year to year. So I guess I never really learned how to hold on to a long-term friendship. Instead, I just focused on my studies and my writing. I knew that I would have those, no matter where I went.
Oh, I never knew that about you, Monica. I'm sorry.
Monica smiles at me. Don't be sorry for me, John. I know I've missed out on some things, but I have no regrets about the life I've led. It's made me into who I am.
Well, I'm glad you're here now, at any rate. A wistful look passes over Monica's face. Are they planning on moving again?
Yes, I'm glad to be here. Anyway, it's getting late.
Maybe to some university or something already planning?
You should probably head back to your house.
You're right, I should go. Do you want me to walk you back to your house?
No, I don't live far from here. I'll head home in a few minutes. But I appreciate the gesture all the same.
Alright then. It was nice talking to you. We both stand, and I turn to leave.
John?
Yes, Monica?
Thank you.
Just for sitting and talking with you?
Yes. This was exactly what I needed tonight. You've helped me a lot. More than you know.
Well, I'm always glad to be of service. Monica smiles at me one last time, and I turn and head down the road that will take me back to my house. Something's ringing.
Click. Hello? Yes, I knew you'd call.
Sandwich.
Look, I'm sorry I stormed out like that. I really appreciate this, but it's so much. I just needed to clear my head. Don't worry, I'm just down at the beach. In fact, I just ran into somebody. Who? His name is John. He's a friend from school. Anyway, I'll come home now. We have a lot we need to discuss. I love you too.
Could also be family, though. That you love. I don't know. Could still be an actual love.
John, where are you? Yuri, are you going to deliver your final poem? You've only been there twice today, and your delivery is amazing. You really present the literature club well. I think everyone is impressed at how articulate you are. But things are winding down, and you really need to give one last performance. Monica, I can't. I'm waiting for John. He needs to be here for my final poem. I want him to hear it. Yuri, I don't know if John is going to make it.
What? Why not?
Well, something came up with Sayori.
Sayori! Ugh! How dare she monopolize his time! She should be here helping us with the festival! Instead, she spirited John away like some sort of siren!
I know you're upset, Yuri, but you really shouldn't be so hard on Sayori. Especially not today. Next time I see her, I'll plan on giving her a piece of my mind! I sincerely hope you do, Yuri. More than you know. Oh, there he is! John! Now and forever! Monica, I'm ready! Alright, break a leg, Yuri! John, over here! Oh no. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so glad you decided to stop by to learn more about our little club. As you know, we are holding a poetry reading today. I have recited a few of my own. I have been waiting for the right time to recite this one. Poetry is a window that allows you to look deep into the soul of a person. The act of writing a poem is a personal, even intimate experience.
I was just thinking about something.
I once considered the possibility of sharing that experience. Obscene. But now, because of one person, I've been inspired to share a piece of myself with all of you. As I am a very private person, it has been difficult for me, but this person has inspired me to become more than I thought I could be. I've written this poem especially for you. I pray that it might mean as much to you as it does to me.
She opened her mouth to say something, but the look on my face told her everything she needed to know. She walked past the crowd of people straight to me.
The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. In the distance, a blue-green light flickers. A lone figure crosses its path, a silhouette obstructing the eerie glow. My heart pounds. The silhouette grows. Closer, closer. I open my umbrella, casting a shadow to shield me from visibility. But I am too late. He steps into the streetlight. I gasp and drop my umbrella. The light flickers. My heart pounds. He raises his arm. Time stops. The only indication of movement is the amber light flickering against his outstretched arm. The flickering light is in rhythm with the pounding of my heart, teasing me for succumbing to this forbidden emotion. Have you ever heard of a ghost feeling warmth before?
She put her arms around me and held me close to her. I couldn't raise my arms to hug her back. I was utterly drained and defeated.
Giving up on understanding I love. Understanding is overrated. I touch his hand. The flickering stops. Goes so blue-green. My heart is so... my heart...
I suddenly realized the room is silent. I glanced up at Yuri, confused. Her eyes are fixed on me. And Monica. It takes me a moment, but I realize what she is seeing. And her face tells me exactly what she is thinking. The crowd noticed the abrupt end to Yuri's poem. What's going on? Why did she stop?
Hey, is there more? You can stand there as long as you want. I like looking at you, babe. Oh, there was a full crowd. Hey, cutie, you seem tense. You need something to calm you down. Wanna borrow my pen? I mean, I'm willing to help. Hey! Leave her alone, jackass! What did you just call me, shrimp? Shrimp? Buddy, I'm hardly the smallest thing in this room. Small... Hey! I'm sorry, everyone. Yuri!
Oh no. Yuri. This is all my fault. I should go talk to her.
No, Monica. I think I need to do it.
John, are you sure? I mean,
Yuri. No, it's fine. I think you understand her feelings towards me better than I understand my feelings towards her. And maybe I should have respected that more. I don't know, but I think she'll listen to me more than she will listen to you, Monica.
Okay. Just be careful with her.
When Yuri ran out of the club room, I saw her turn and head down the hallway in the opposite direction from the way I normally enter. I think this hallway is reserved for the honor students. I've never been down it. None of the clubs are using this hallway for the festival, so it's partially dark and deserted. Yuri! My mind wanders as I search for Yuri. So many unresolved feelings for each of the girls. I've never been popular and suddenly finding myself the center of attention of so many pretty girls. Well, it's made me feel pretty good, to be honest. It was really thrilling at first. It was kind of being like the star of my very own horror anime. Or dating some. But as I've spent time with them, as I've learned more about who they are, I found that I care about each of them deeply. And now I'm afraid that I've hurt Yuri simply by knowing her. Just like Sayori. I pushed thoughts of Sayori out of my head. I can't think about her now. I have to find Yuri. Yuri! Please, I want to talk to you. I just want to talk to you. As I turn yet another corner, I hear a soft voice nearby. I can't really make out the words. The only one I can hear clearly is stupid, but the voice definitely belongs to Yuri. Slowly move closer, I can hear muffled sobs in between the quiet words. My heart sinks. I hesitate and consider that maybe I should leave her be. Perhaps it would be best if I gave her space. But then I suddenly think of Sayori again. I turn the corner slowly. Yuri, it's me. Listen, I really want to talk. Yuri! You're bleeding! Yuri quickly pulls down her sleeve, hiding the bloody gashes on her arm. John, don't look
at me, please!
I'm too stunned to say anything. I never would have suspected.
It's alright. I'm fine. Really, I am. I think in the back of my mind, I knew that you wouldn't feel that way about me. But you and Monica, I mean, she's wonderful. You two make such a wonderful couple.
Yuri,
It's fine, really it is. You two go off and be happy. Don't worry about me.
before I can say anything, Yuri turns around and runs away from me down the opposite hallway.
Goodbye, John.
Goodbye. The words echo in my mind, repeating over and over. First in Yuri's voice, then in Yuri's. The noise swells inside my head, a symphony of chaos and anger. I feel faint. I steady myself by putting my hand on the wall. Yuri, Sayori, why? Storms mix with the horrid goodbyes, adding to the misery inside my head. I find that my steadying hand has balled into a fist. I punch my hand against the wall again and again, lightly at first, but strong with each blow, until my knuckles sear with pain and the small spots in the wall have been punching now how bare is the imprint of my fist. I want to scream, I want to shout out, but in the end, all I manage is a whimper.
Why? Why am I cursed like this? Why must I hurt the people I love? Yuri, of course you're both so much pain.
I slumped to the floor in a crushed heap.
And now I've lost you both on the same day.
Full of my self-loathing, I close my eyes, praying for a comfort that I know I won't find.
What happened to Sayori?
I open my eyes. You were standing there before me.
I didn't see her this morning. I came to the school anyway, and Monica found a note she had written. A suicide note.
Your gasps.
Oh no. So I went to her house, and I found her in her room, hanging.
You covers her mouth with her hands as realization comes to her face. She slowly lowers herself to the floor until she is on level with me, while still keeping some space between us.
I got her down, took her to the hospital, and now,
my voice quivers as it grows softer.
I don't know if my friend's alive or dead.
I begin to weep. For the first time today, tears stream down my face as the mass of emotions the day has carried finally catch up to me. Yuri sits silently and watches me. I am slightly aware of her actions. She has moved her hands from her mouth and starts to reach for me, but presently pulls back as if unsure what to do. Continues to cry for a few moments while Yuri sits across from me, seemingly in a sort of stalemate within her own mind. After a while, I manage to compose myself slightly.
I know how you feel about me, Yuri. I know you think I'm some kind of hero, some tower of strength like in your book. But I'm not. I'm not your hero. I'm not your white knight. I can't save you. I can't save anyone.
I spread my arms slightly.
This is all I am. I'm just a broken shell of a human being. I'm weak. I'm pathetic. And I'm
beautiful.
What?
Beautiful. You're beautiful. You are the storybook hero. You are the conquering warrior in an invincible knight. You're a regular person. You have limits. And today, I've watched you push yourself past those limits and service of those you care about. You came to the edge of what you could handle, and then went further just because the others needed you. And I think that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Again, she timidly reaches out her hand. She hesitates as if she's afraid to cross some unseen barrier that exists between us. Finally, she slowly stretches her arm out, the rest of the way until her hand rests on mine. As she reaches forward toward me, her arm slides out of her sleeve, exposing her wounds. She didn't button it when she pulled it down earlier, so it was just hanging loosely on her arm. She tenderly wraps her fingers around my head. Her touch is soft and comforting.
Oh, John, your hand!
So she says that I realized the dull pain coming from my left hand for the first time. Yuri turns my hand over and spreads it out flat. There are several small glass shards embedded on my palm. I said they came from Sarah's glass butterfly when I smashed it on her desk. I'm now bleeding from the wounds. I must have pushed the shards in deeper when I clenched my fist up just now. With hesitation, Yuri pulls out her knife from a spot on the inside of her jacket. It's the same knife she used when she came over to my house. This knife is smaller and more plain, whereas this knife isn't part of her ornate collection. I can only assume she carries it with her in her sleeve wherever she goes. Before today, I would have asked what kind of pain she must feel every day to decide she has to resort to that. But now, in my numb state. She also produces her first aid kit. She quickly resolves a small claw from the kit, as well as some disinfectant wipes and rubbing alcohol. She puts a small amount of the alcohol on the cloth and wipes the blade of the knife clean. What are you doing? Yuri looks at me with sadness in her eyes.
You're hurting. Let me take care of you. Please.
I don't understand what she is doing, but I know I want the pain to stop. I nod my head, and Yuri continues. She gently rubs one of the wipes across the palm of my hand. Again, I feel a familiar stinging sensation. Yuri then holds my hand open as she carefully scrapes the edges of the blade a long ways across my palm. I'm a little afraid at first, but the way Yuri is holding the knife keeps it from cutting my hand. The blade dislodges some of the glass pieces as it passes. They fall to the floor like hardened teardrops. Yuri passes the blade over my hand 3 times. When she is finished, all but a few deeply embedded pieces of glass have been removed. Yuri puts the knife down and reaches for her kit.
Oh, I'm out of bandages.
Undaunted, she reaches down and tears a strip of cloth off the bottom of her skirt. She wraps the piece of cloth around my hand, tying it loosely over my palm.
This should do until you can have your hand looked at.
Yuri. When she is finished, she holds her hand for a moment above my hand. Slowly, she moves them towards my face and gently places her hands on my cheeks. And I got into contact with Yuri and notice for the first time that she is crying. I'm gonna CG for that. We sit and stare at each other for some time. Neither of us say a word. None are necessary. Finally, Yuri breaks the silence.
You say you're broken.
I'm broken too. You say you're weak. I know what weakness feels like. If you are spent, if you have nothing left to give, then lean on me, and I'll lean on you. And together, perhaps we can find a way to heal our broken spirits. For the second time in as many days, time stands still between me and Yuri. I can almost feel the weight being taken from my shoulders. It's almost like we needed each other, if only for this moment. From that day forward, for the rest of my life, I never felt more connected to another person as I did in that hallway. 2 months later! Okay. Mark and I sit in the club room, alone together. It's been like this for some time now. Ever since the day of the festival, our club was said to be cursed. I don't know if the other students seriously believe that, but they'd have a good argument if they did. Monica?
Sorry, I was just thinking. I really wanted to grow this club before I graduated. As a way to leave something behind, I guess. But now, with Sayo in the hospital, and Yuri at counselors' meetings half the time, Natsuki, our literature club has practically become a literature duo.
Interesting. Natsuki... I'm assuming the ... is purely so that we don't know what's happening. I have hopes that it's not something bad.
I guess things didn't work out the way I planned, did they?
Monica, I'm really sorry. I can't help but feel that this is my fault.
Don't blame yourself, John. You didn't cause anything. Sometimes life just isn't fair, and there isn't anything you can do about it. Besides, I still have you.
Monica smiles warmly at me.
John? That night on the beach 2 months ago. There's so much I want to...
Oh! Yuri! You had come into the club room so quiet that neither of us had noticed her.
Hello, Monica. John. Hello, Yuri. I'm glad to see you, but I thought you saw the council on Fridays. Normally I do, but I have a special session this weekend. So able to make it to the literature club today. Well, it's always a pleasure to have you here, Yuri.
I'm really glad you could make it today, Yuri. Yuri glances at me and smiles. Ever since the day of the festival, you and I haven't spoken much. She completely stopped coming to literature club for about a month after. For the last month, she's been present about half the time. I know she's attending her counseling sessions, but don't know if she is comfortable discussing them. Been trying to keep the conversations light when we do talk. We've discussed books and poetry, and she seemed pleased when I finally finished Portrait of Markov, but we haven't discussed anything deep since that day.
How would the two of you like some tea?
Yuri, I would never turn down any of your tea.
Great. John, would you mind helping me get the water?
Sure thing, Yuri. Don't be long, you two. You and I walk slowly down the hallway. Neither of us say anything. They become somewhat heavy as the absence of the conversation becomes more and more apparent. We approach the water fountain and pass right on by, as if we both understand that getting water for tea wasn't the point of this walk. We turn the corner into the next hallway, which is now deserted. This is the place where I found Yuri during the festival 2 months ago.
There are so many things I want to say, and I am still learning how to say them.
Yuri looks at the floor for a moment, as if she's trying to collect her thoughts. I decide to help her out. Well, why don't you start by telling me how your counseling sessions have been for the last 2 months?
Alright.
You takes a deep breath.
As you know, I started seeing a counsel of the incident at the festival. After we talked for a while, he decided that I suffer from social anxiety disorder. I've always had trouble connecting with other people, but my condition means I suffer an inordinate amount of fear in regards to social situations. It's a type of phobia, like a fear of enclosed spaces or certain types of animals. Apparently, people with my condition tend to shut themselves off completely if they don't learn how to cope with the anxiety in a healthy manner.
Yuri reaches up and rubs the top of her forearm.
And it should be obvious to you that I developed a coping habit that was anything but healthy. My counselor decided on a number of treatments for me. First off, we mutually decided I need to get rid of my knife collection. I was using them to harm myself, and we both agreed that regardless of how well my treatment goes, having them there would be something of a temptation for me that I don't need.
And then, she probably did it anyway. With scissors and what have you. Actually, I've read it. I've talked about this before, in the long run, for Fallen Angel, because there was the suggestion. And I looked it up just to be sure. And there were also straight up therapists saying it's not the best idea to just do that. Well, if she agreed on it, I guess.
I need to look forward, not back. So I sold my knives to another collector.
I admit I never understood the appeal knives had for Yuri, but I know how hard it would be for me to get rid of my anime collection. I'm sorry, Yuri. I know how hard that must have been for you, but I'm proud of you for doing it. One of my friends who has a knife collection also does self-harm. The knife collection does not really have any weight of the temptation to it. Frankly, closing him off of the knife collection was the worst idea that his family had. That's why I don't really like this advice. Don't just take it away from them. You first need to know, it depends a lot on also the reasons for doing it. If they're in immediate risk of harming themselves, then I can, trying to take their own life, then I can understand it. But in Yuri's case, it's letting out strong emotions. The first thing that needs to be discussed is her taking care of injuries, probably, making sure they don't get infected, making sure they don't bleed too much, all of that, which she seemed to have been doing. The next step would probably be that you can probably use the knife collection in other ways. A lot of people who also self-harm can, depending on what reason they have for doing it, can also benefit from having these tools still that they use to self-harm. And sometimes simply the present can help them deal with whatever emotion they're dealing with. And thus far, I've never really noticed anything good in my private circle, and also when I looked it up for the Fallen Angel video, that apparently came from taking away someone's self-harm tool. They're not taken away, she disposed of them willfully. But I just think it's not a good message to have that you always, like, her knife collection means a lot to her outside of the self-harm. It simply would have been needed to be dealt with differently. So I hope for anyone who sees it, and I don't know how likely it is for someone to know someone who self-harms and how they also have like some type of connection with their self-harm tools. But don't just take them away. Don't do it. It's not going to do you any good. The chances of it backfiring appear to be pretty high from what I know personally and from what I've read from other people in other spaces. There's only one post I've ever seen which was like, after my mother followed up by my self-harm, she hid away of these tools and also checked my thighs every morning, and it helped me. Well, my mother did kind of the similar thing for me, and I can tell you one thing. It's a bad day. Probably not the best discussion to be having right now, but I can tell you one thing. The end result was maybe that I didn't harm myself that way anymore, but it didn't do me any direct good either. And in the end, I ended up self-harming in other ways for a very long time after that. Still. So that's why there is just a very personal connection towards those things of like, you don't just certainly don't just take them away. But I feel like in Yuri's case, she's allowed to still love her knives. She can keep them. My friend who has a knife collection self-harms, he's been getting better. The knife collection is there. The other person who self-harms, we have never taken his tool away and they're getting better. The other persons, you can say persons. They're getting better anyway. I get you want to remove temptation, but I feel like for that you have to discuss a lot of it. I'm happy if Yuri feels like it's helping her, but honestly I feel like on a personal level this is really going to impact my score of the mod. Simply because of the personal relation I have with these messages. Of taking away, like, telling you to abandon those tools. Because I've seen a lot of things that discuss that that's not necessarily the right way to go. Certainly not with taking away. And if this knife collection meant a lot to her, you need to look forward and not look back. She can still have that knife collection and improve. As long as she stays safe. As long as she knows how to disinfect the knives and knows how to not cut deep and everything of those sorts. It's going to improve. It's not like she's going to immediately kill herself with these knives. Act 2 is a different story because that's a completely different way that Yuri is feeling. Well, not a completely different way, but a very intense, unnatural feeling she's... unnatural for her feeling. When you go support groups where there are a lot of people self-harming, it's kind of a thing where it's like... how do I put this? How do I put this? A lot of them self-harm. Most of my friends have been through self-harm or are still self-harming. The important thing is not that they completely stop immediately. If they're staying safe for now.
If you know that this person is safe and they're not going to kill themselves with these tools, and you know that they know how to handle them safely and that they are going to handle them safely, then you take these things, you have the opportunity to take these things slower, which will also benefit the other person. They don't have to stop immediately. The chances of them being able to stop immediately, even if the tools are removed from them as much as you possibly think you can, the chances are they can still spiral back to it with other tools or in different ways, depending on what reason they have for it. You need to take these things slow. And there's space for Yuri taking it slowly, since she's clearly handling it safely with her A-Kid, her makeshift one, for her to also learn with her knife collection how to handle it.
But isn't there still a chance that she'd accidentally be so emotional that she does it? Yes, and there's a chance that my friends accidentally feel so emotional and is going to take his some scissors and stab them into his hand. He can also bleed out from that. And if Yuri is that emotional, then she's going to grab anything near her. If the knife collection is there per se, that won't change the fact that she's probably going to do it if that's the situation we're going by. Yuri smiles sweetly. I'm done. It's just a personal topic for me. I know that you feel like you want to protect this person, you want to keep temptations away from them. But you don't take self-harm tools away, and they can learn with their self-harm tools, or sometimes it's better to learn with the self-harm tools. It's very dependent on the situation, and I feel like your situation especially does not call for her to remove her knife collection, especially in this mod where we know she's taking care of her injuries. Well, aside from that, well, we kind of didn't see it, but the first aid kit heavily implies it.
Thank you.
I feel like that's a message that needs to be conveyed, because I'm pretty sure more people would think of taking away the tools than trying to understand that these tools could be a very important part of the recovering process, as weird as it seems.
And it isn't so bad. I do feel like a small weight has been taken off of me.
Good for you.
I also think I might take up collecting spoons instead.
She giggles slightly at that. I'm not sure if she is serious or not, but I return a slight chuckle.
My counselors also start cognitive behavioral therapy sessions with me. I'm learning healthier ways to cope with the fear I carry. Been reciting some of my poetry to my counselor. Admittedly, it has been fairly easy.
He looks away and blushes.
When I recite, I usually think of how easy it was to recite poems to you.
Can feel my face flush with warmth.
And lately, he's been pairing me up with a girl who has similar problems to me. She goes to a special school in another town. She was badly burnt when she was a child, and self-consciousness of her burns has made it difficult for her to interact with other people.
Yuri again rubs her forearms.
I guess she and I are both scarred. But our counselors thought it would be good for us to have group therapy together. Our first session was somewhat awkward. Neither of us spoke much, but slowly we've opened up to each other. She's taught me how to play chess. And I've shown her the wonders of a good cup of tea. I feel like I've made a new friend.
Yuri beams with pride. That's awesome, Yuri. You sound like you've made some great strides these past few months. Yuri continues to smile at me.
You've always been so kind and supportive, John. And that's why I feel I owe you an apology.
Yuri, you don't need to apologize for anything.
Yes, I do. When we met, I quickly developed feelings for you. I didn't completely understand those feelings. I'm still comprehending them, to be honest. But due to my lack of understanding, I placed you on a pedestal that was too high for anyone to climb. I made you into a perfect version of what I wanted you to be, and that wasn't fair to either of us. I am truly sorry for that.
Yuri, like I said, there's nothing to be sorry to apologize for. I've also been coping with feelings that I don't understand. Sometimes, I think that if I had been less confused about those feelings a few months ago, everything would...
No, don't say that.
Yuri quickly reaches out and takes my hand in hers. Her touch is more firm than it was before. I'm surprised by how much more confident she is now. She glances away for a moment and blushes, but she doesn't move her hand.
I truly believe that our hearts beat in tandem. Ever since a special moment 2 months ago, I could believe nothing less. I don't know if that means we're destined for each other. Or if it means that our paths have simply crossed for now. But whatever the future holds, I'm a better person today because I have met you. Never forget that.
Yuri's words touch me deeply. I'd never admit it out loud, but I'm actually fighting back tears. I can't cry, of course. If a tough guy image to maintain. He releases my hand and reaches into her bag. She pulls out a package wrapped in blue paper.
I don't feel that it is right for me to pursue a close relationship with you, John. I'm finally learning who I am, and I feel I have ways to go before I could be ready to ask that. But I don't want to be completely apart from you either. This Saturday, I'm going to be by the beach by myself. My counsel feels that this would be a good exercise for me now that I have been progressing. I'm supposed to be alone to learn more about myself, but
a slight grin spreads across Yuri's lips.
I think I found a small way to cheat, as it were. At noon on Saturday, open that package and follow the instructions inside.
I think you understand then?
I think I understand then.
She hands me the package and I agree to her terms. Noon Saturday, not a moment before. The rest of the day seems to drag on into Saturday morning. Normally I'd be entertaining myself the usual regiment of games and anime, but today I'm too busy watching the clock. That was took away until finally it hits noon. I quickly tear open the package. Inside is a large book. On the cover is a woman in a Victorian dress standing in front of a large iron gate. It is night with a large full moon, partially obscured by clouds. The title is written in large fancy silver letters, The Night and the Fury. I flip over to read the back. Apparently it's about a woman who resolves to break free of the restrictions of an overbearing 19th century society by joining up with a group of werewolf hunting vigilantes. Open up the cover and find a small note tucked inside. Open the note and read it out loud. John, I felt that this book might have some parallels to my own journey. I'll begin reading it on the beach at noon on Saturday. Won't you read it with me? Perhaps we can guess this next we meet, Yuri. I chuckle to myself. Of course, here to pick a book like this. I start reading the first chapter, comforted by the knowledge that even though Yuri and I may be separated by distance, the space between us is never greater than the turn of a page. Heals the broken-hearted and binds up their wounds. Interesting. Episode 2, The Space Between, has ended. Yeah. So, I like the ending, but I will just say, the entire thing regarding that self-harm tools problem, I think reviews are always personal, and I think it will take personal strides with me. Strides? It will impact my personal score for it, probably. I'll need to think about it. I'll need to think how I feel about it in the whole run at the end of it. There's still some things I need to see after all, before I can make any decision. I still like the episode at large. At large I really enjoyed it. It's really just a few things and among them really just the personal issue I take with that. And I like with Sayori where it's like, yeah, maybe it's just my personal experience there. This thing is, I have friends, I have looked it up before, there are other people saying it, for sure. It's something that will probably impact it a bit more. But yeah, it still at large incurred the feelings that it wanted to. There are a few things here and there, but I will keep that for the review. I don't think it should narrow down any of the enjoyment ahead of the earlier parts of how it was spaced, also the weekend event. I'm interested to see what little Monica events we'll have during the Natsuki episode. I like that they named more ways of therapy. That was awesome. And I'm interested to see what's going on with Natsuki. Yeah. I'm already going to give a spoiler for the review portion. The little problem will be, I think the pacing at the end was a bit quick. I'll have to think about it some more. I'll have to think about how that all blends into everything else. So yeah, that's about all I really think I needed to say. Yeah. I still enjoyed it, like I said. It's just a personal thing for me that Yuri, especially in the way she was presented here, she could have kept her knife collection. She could have engaged with what she loved still with the knife collection, what she loved looking at, what she just loved on a level that isn't just her self-harm. There was no need to throw it away. It was basically an unnecessary sacrifice. And unnecessary sacrifices in a lot of storytellings are, if they are not acknowledged to be unnecessary, can ruin a story. It didn't ruin anything here. I was thinking about something else I've been engaging with lately, another piece of media that I actually named while I was going through this episode. So, yeah. Still. Large, really enjoyable. Large evoked the feelings that it wanted to. Evoked a feeling that it didn't want to evoke, but it happened. It's going to happen. We're all just people. I'll keep that all in mind. With that being said, have a good morning, night, evening, or afternoon. There you go. It's pretty late. I need to still eat something at 1 AM. You know, like normal people do. So yeah, stay safe. And eat a bit earlier than me.